Alright, welcome everybody. Hope you're doing good. Alright. So I am back in the States. I just spent the last 2 weeks in New Zealand on vacation. Took the dream vacation to Hobbiton. And I just wanted to kind of show you guys my sketchbook that I did while I was there. I did most of these on plein air, meaning like sitting in this actual location, just out in the open, painting what I see. What's up, how's it going? And so I wanted to maybe work on a couple more of these paintings today, because I have a couple more of these that I did the sketch, but I didn't actually get the chance to paint them. So yeah, this is my little sketchbook that I carried around with me to the different locations that we saw in New Zealand. I did this one. This is one that I did on plein air as well. I did the sketch, and then I also did this one. I started it, but I didn't finish it. So I think I might start working on this one today. And then I also did this one. This is like from In the Party Field. It's beautiful work. Thank you. Good to see you, Zeke. So I was looking up at Bag End from the Party Field, so I think this one would be fun to paint in as well. The internet died while you're showing this. Am I supposed to? Yeah, hopefully the internet's working better. I spent most of yesterday on the phone with Google Fiber, trying to figure out what's going on, what was going wrong. They did some stuff on their end to try and like reset the network and change what servers that it was going from, and I don't think it actually helped that much. But what I did do was I think I figured out that my router downstairs where I stream from, that's where I am in my office right now, is downstairs. I do think that my router has an issue with it, because when I was working on my computer, super jealous. New Zealand is, I can't see this, so beautiful. Yes, it really was. It is. I miss it. Yeah, I think there was a problem with my router downstairs, and so I just unplugged the router downstairs, and now it seems to be working again. The internet seems to be working again. Yeah, it's showing that people are here and people are able to see the stream, and yeah. Have you ever used gouache? Kid definitely got learning curve, but it's so beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, gouache is fun. I'm enjoying it so far. I think this is probably my best one so far in terms of gouache. Okay, if I did some exercise based on your artwork, your composition skills are awesome. Yeah, go for it. All I ask is that if you post it online, just credit me as the original composition. Unless it's like a movie screenshot or something, in which case credit the movie screenshot as the composition. Because even those paintings that I did that are based on movie screenshots, technically that's just fan art of painting it in my style. But if you want to try to mimic my style, then credit me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Welcome back. Thanks for taking so many lovely pictures of New Zealand for us. My pleasure. I had so much fun doing that. So I think I want to work on this one. What's up? How's it going? The gouache, yeah, me too. I'm getting the hang of it. I think this one's definitely my favorite one so far in terms of the gouache pieces, but I ended up going to an art supply store in New Zealand in Queenstown and picking up some like better gouache paints, because I was using this Winsor & Newton set, and it just wasn't good. I think the Winsor & Newton one just, it wasn't doing it for me. So I think I'm gonna try going back and working on a couple more of these with this better set. This is the new gouache set that I got. It's called Sheenhan Professional Designer's Gouache. And I'm liking it a lot more. What's up, Dorito Plays? How's it going? So yeah, I think with this one, mostly what I need is like some more vibrant colors and a bit more contrast. And then I just need to decide now what I'm doing. I just need to decide what's happening. And that is a very general statement. I have so much to decide. I don't know what to do. I have so many things that I want to do. I just don't know if I have like the mental capacity and the time and the energy to do all of them. But New Zealand was awesome. It was cool following your trip on Facebook. Post-travel existential crisis. Exactly. Exactly. You nailed it. New Zealand was amazing. I don't know how to like go back to my normal day-to-day, because my normal day-to-day is so freaking random and it never makes sense. I never know what's happening, and now I have so many things to decide because convention season's about to start back up. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? Do I just focus on conventions? Do I focus on these goals that I set for myself that I want to paint for Magic the Gathering. I want to paint for Brandon Sanderson. I want to paint book covers. I want to paint trading cards. I also have a bunch more fan art that I want to paint, but I'm like, okay, do I paint fan art that is just going to do good at cons because I know it's going to do good at cons? Do I paint fan art that I can submit to the different companies and try and like get hired on officially? Do I paint more original stuff? Do I really just focus deep on my dragons? Man. I'll do a bit of everything, no doubt. Yeah, that's my problem. That's my problem right now, is I'm doing a bit of everything, and it's too much. It's too much. I can't handle it. I'm wearing myself out. And then every time I have a spare second where I'm not painting, I'm like, man, I enjoy playing video games. Like, I had a lot of time to play video games over my trip in New Zealand, and it was great, and I had so much fun. Now I'm like, oh, I've got so many video games I want to play. And then I also had a lot of time to listen to audiobooks while we were driving around. And I'm like, man, I really like books. I miss reading books. I want to spend some more time reading. And then I'm like, man, I really like doing book covers. I think I want to do more book covers, which means I just need to paint more book covers, and I need to advertise that. And then I'm like, oh cool, Patreon is a lot of fun. I'm going to plug my Patreon. Love your drawing, thank you. We're about halfway through with this one. I want to get it to the point where it looks a bit more like this. A good lesson to carve out more time for those things. Yeah, it's just like, where do I get the time? Where does that time come from? Where does the energy come from? Yeah, today has definitely been a day of just like, what am I doing? What do I focus on? Also, I just got back from my trip, and I'm exhausted. I slept until 3. I slept until about 3 yesterday in the afternoon, because my body was used to New Zealand time, and so my body was like, oh, it's only like 10, which is a pretty normal sleep-in for me. And I woke up and it was like 3 and I was like, ugh. Yeah, I saw your message come in as I was like hitting go live. Okay, I've actually got paints out on my palette now. That was that first 10 minutes of being live, so let's get my references pulled up. Took a bunch of pictures of a bunch of different hobbit holes. Let's work on the hobbit hole for a bit. Maybe mix green and white. Maybe just a bit of yellow. Like a nice bright green. So I'm using gouache here. You can kind of see how it's like, it behaves kind of like watercolors, but it dries like almost immediately, which is pretty cool. So now I have a door. Well, then you can relate. Yeah, I was only in New Zealand for 10 days. Now I'm back and I'm just like, man, it was over so quick. It was over so fast. What do I even do with myself now? Let's get a bit more of this green kind of splashed around, trying to thin it down less. I think that was my problem before, was I was painting with way too much thick paint. Need it to be a bit like softer like this, which means I need to load the brush a little bit more. Yeah, what's everyone up to? How's y'all's Monday going? What are you doing today? What's happening? I actually woke up at a decent time today because I knew if I slept in again, my body would stay in this cycle of sleeping in and then taking my medication in the morning that wakes me up and gets me going. So I set an alarm for like 6:30 this morning and managed to wake up and take my meds, and then I fell back asleep for another hour or so, and then was able to get up and get back to doing stuff, but then I just kind of laid in bed for a while, just not knowing what to do. It's like all my projects I have on my plate right now are like big, like high risk, high reward projects, and it's really hard to get back into doing high risk, high reward projects after being gone for so long. President's Day, so work is closed, slept in, nice. Yeah, it's really hard to get back to doing stuff like this. Not like this. This is a low risk, low reward project. This is just something fun I'm doing that probably won't amount to anything. But yeah, all my other projects are just kind of a big deal. So I didn't want to like jump right back into just working on these kind of a big deal projects. Yeah, Shannon's Smart School starts in about 3 weeks. So I think it's like the week after I think it's the week of Emerald City Comic Con, actually. Let's see. I need to mix some brown. These like warm colors mixed with this blue. Brown. A little bit more red. Need to paint some bricks in here. See like how quickly that paint dries? Like you can already see it drying. With my next projects, that's what I was. Oh, I don't know. I have so many next projects that I want / need to work on that I just don't know. I don't know what to do right now. I'm in this weird like decision paralysis this morning. I have a commission that I need to work on for a client who's got me painting a fantasy book commission. I'm like 30% into that one, and it's at a stage right now where it's just very like it's just takes a lot of attention and a lot of focus. So I'm like, yes, I need to work on that. I really, really need to work on that, but I'm also like, I'm really tired because I just got back from this trip, and so I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then I also have this Kelsier painting that I've been working on so that I can show Brandon Sanderson, and I'm getting to the point where if I don't finish it in the next like couple of days, I'm not going to get a chance to show it to him. Because I need to have prints made, I need to get it scanned. And so I'm kind of running out of time on that one. Oh, you're on book 3 at Dresden? Nice. It's a good one. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now I need to lighten this up. Maybe some orange and this brown color. Yellow, touch of red. I want this roof to be a little bit more interesting. It's actually pretty good at making wood grain because of this brush. It actually looks pretty good. And I want to lighten it up and get some of these fence posts down here. When's your next event? My next event is not this weekend, but next weekend in Salt Lake City. I'll be going to StoryCon, which I don't know what to do about it because I need to decide, like, do I really want to do book covers? Because StoryCon is it's an author convention. It's like a book convention. It's also in Salt Lake City, where I have a lot of fans out there that like dropping big money on artwork, and so I need to decide, like, okay, what kind of art am I bringing? Do I really just need to focus on book stuff? Do I just stick to like Old Faithful that I know works well? Do I just bring like Lord of the Rings stuff? I've just got a lot of big decisions to make here soon. So after StoryCon is Emerald City Comic Con, and then after Emerald City, I think I have a week off, and then Cleveland Fan Expo, and then after Cleveland, I have another week off, I think, and then C2E2 / Planet Comic Con. References, pictures that I took while I was there. Trying to keep this as more accurate as possible. These boards actually connect here. So yeah, I've got a bunch of big conventions coming up. Let's see, I think I'll be done with the brown paint. I live there and she's a writer. Nice. Yeah, the main reason I signed up for StoryCon is because I have some friends out there that I always like to hang out and see what they're up to, and then Brandon Sanderson is going to be there, so would really like to get another chance to show him my work. I would love for my like success story to be that I just like kept showing up and handing Brandon Sanderson art until he hires me. I just think that would be fun / kind of funny. So I need a mailbox right here. It's looking much better. This whole area down here still looks whack. Let's get a little bit of green. Just kind of fill this in with flowers and plants. That looks wacky. Some more grass down there. Looks better. Looks a bit more like it's just kind of actually a painting now. Get some darker blue in here, or darker green. Yeah, you can take some of this darker green, sort of fill it in down here, give us some nice contrast. This will give it something to actually highlight against. You can't have highlight without shadow. Gotta add that contrast in there, or else it's gonna look like you just got green. What were my New Zealand highlights? Oh, it was all a highlight. Man, it's so hard to like pick highlights out of such an amazing experience. I snorkeled in the ocean for the first time. That was pretty amazing. We rode a boat into the ocean. We saw a seal swimming around. We saw all these tropical islands that were like untouched by man, because New Zealand is like super serious about their conservation. And so there's all these islands that are like completely untouched by humanity, and it was just so cool to see like all the birds and the wildlife just living their best lives, not worried about anything. That looks pretty good. So yeah, swimming in the ocean was awesome. Riding the boat, it was freezing cold after I swam in the ocean, so that was kind of like a low point right after one of the highest points. I got so freezing cold that I was just sitting there like teeth chattering out of control. I literally couldn't stop my teeth from chattering because I was just so freaking cold. But the swimming part was awesome. Let's get some rocks in there. That looks good. Are you painting the Hobbit? I'm painting a Hobbit hole based off of a sketch that I did in Hobbiton. So I just got back from New Zealand. I spent 2 weeks in New Zealand vacationing, and I did a bunch of sketching just like in front of this actual Hobbit house. This is the baker's house. I did a bunch of sketching in front of the baker's house, and now I'm painting it. So this is an en plein air sketch that now I'm going back and like finishing the painting. Let's get some wood grain in here and here. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, we did snorkeling, and then we went to a bunch of beaches. That was really fun. I loved going to the beach. The beach was probably one of the, probably in the top 3 experiences, just walking on the beach. Have you seen the movie Hobbit? Yes, I have. I'm a big Tolkien fan. In terms of The Hobbit, I think the book was definitely better. I love the Lord of the Rings movies. Yeah, staying at the beaches, then just the views, like the views from the different Airbnbs. Like this was my view from one of the Airbnbs. Like you can't beat that. And this is in the area that they filmed The Shire. So this is just like facing the opposite mountain from the direction that you go to the Hobbiton movie set. And we went to the Hobbiton movie set, and actually like this was a drawing that I did. I drew the painting and then I painted it when I got home to the Airbnb of like standing in front of Bag End, and then another one from like a portrait orientation, and then this is another one that's like the baker's house. I also did several at the beach. So this was the very first one. This is my very first time ever using gouache. And then I did another one of like portrait orientation of this same beach. And this is a different beach that I painted some rocks. And that was my B&B, and that was a little stream we went to right before. Right before we went to the Hobbiton movie set, and this was at the Hobbiton movie set, also at the Hobbiton movie set. These ones are all on plein air. Like I painted them right then and there at the location. I'm working on this one right now. And this is another one that's like the party field looking up at Bag End. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you, James. And this one is from the inside of a hobbit hole. I might work on this one next just because I haven't done anything inside. And this was the view from my Airbnb at the place in Queenstown. This is in the South Island. And this is flying over Milford Sound. And then this is riding a cruise ship through Doubtful Sound, another area in the Fjordlands. That was the last one I did. So yeah, I don't think I showed you guys this one yet. This one I did like on the cruise ship. I painted this one while sitting on the boat. Yeah, that was another highlight, was riding the boat through Doubtful Sound. Doubtful Sound is just amazing. The Fjordlands, just giant mountains everywhere from every direction. It was just kind of mind-blowing, honestly. I think I want to add a bunch of flowers. Let's start adding some flowers. My paint is already drying. That's awesome. Sarcastically awesome. Alright, that is way too thin down. Making a nice magenta. Let's just add a bunch of little flowers in here. This paint is very thinned down. Definitely subscribe to your channel. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. And this is kind of unusual for my channel. I usually paint like dragons and stuff. Hey buddy, so glad you had a good trip. I did have a good trip. I had an amazing trip. It was over too quickly. Way too quickly. I'm just glad that I really enjoy my life back home. Got a lot of these flowers over here because this is a nice color. Let's add some blue, make it a little bit darker. Do I like Ed Sheeran music? He's alright, yeah. I don't not like it. I wouldn't say I'm like a big Ed Sheeran fan, but I'm not like upset when it comes on the radio or anything. I guess I'm just not a big music person right now. I like this dark purple, that's nice. Let's get some flowers up here as well. I want this to be very colorful. Let's add some more bright pink again. See how fast this stuff dries? Like it's already able to take that bright pink. It's crazy. I'm just learning how to use gouache right now, so it's a bit of a learning curve. I think it looks nice though. We also took a plane trip over Milford Sound. It was that airplane drawing that I did. This one. This was a highlight as well. I loved flying over the mountains. Like I already just really like flying. Flying is just a lot of fun. But yeah, getting to fly over this mountain range was just... it was just magical. Absolutely mind-blowing. I think I want some of these flowers to kind of be like draping over this. I think I need to maybe the flowers in the other one. Yeah, I want to add some more of those bright reds as well. Got those like bright reds and yellows in this one. Who's that? New follower. Thank you for the follow. Glad you knew what you wanted to do in life so early. Kind of jealous. Just get better and better. That's it was something I'm very, very grateful for, is that I found something that I really enjoy, and I was able to take it full time so early on. I definitely got a bit lucky. Wish I could travel more. I just can't handle airplanes. Yeah, airplanes are tough. That Milford Sound trip, while it was one of the highlights of my trip, it was also one of the lowest parts because I got so freaking sick. I really got so sick. Oh, it was terrible. I felt like I was gonna vomit for the last like 30 minutes of the flight. It just the rewards outweighed the the pain of being in the airplane for so long. And the first half of it was amazing before I got sick. Oh, and then I took some medication that was supposed to help with my nausea because I had such a bad time on that plane, and so I got these like nausea patches that you like stick on the side of your head behind your ear, and it's supposed to like make your nausea not so bad. Nausea, I forgot how to pronounce it. I was thinking the Spanish pronunciation, nausea. Goofy. But yeah, I took these nausea patches, and it worked great. I took one before the cruise. Because I knew I was going to struggle with it during that night, and it worked great. And then the very next day was when we were getting ready to fly back home, and it was like 2 days of flying. I had to fly from Queenstown to Auckland, and then Auckland over the ocean to Los Angeles, and then from Los Angeles to Denver, and then from Denver to Kansas City. So it was like a solid 16 hours in the air plus all the hours of layover. So it was a good like 20 hours of just airport. And so I took another nausea patch, I put it on the other side of my head, took the old one off, put the new one on, and then within like 2 or 3 hours, I had completely lost my nearsighted vision. I couldn't see at all. Like anything closer than like 2 feet away was completely just a blur. I couldn't see at all. And so that was kind of freaky. I was like, well, now I know what my visually impaired friends deal with like every day. So that's fun. But yeah, I blinded myself. Because apparently the nausea patches, they like relax your muscles to keep the blood from like flowing too much. That's I think what it's doing. And so I took the patch, and I had overdosed. I overdosed on it because I was only supposed to use the patch every 72 hours, and I just didn't think about it. I had the one patch on before the boat trip, and then yep, after that I just didn't even think to look at the instructions. And then I took it off, put the next one on, and then within a couple hours I couldn't see anything because it relaxed. 17 patches. Yeah. No, it like relaxed the muscles around my eyes, I guess, to the point where I couldn't see anything. I was like, oh, that's fun. So I spent the whole plane trip ride like without my nearsighted vision. I was only farsighted. I put Shannon's glasses on at one point, and I was able to see again. But yeah, by the next day, I was able to see again. So thankfully, it wasn't anything long term, because that is an issue with those. People have actually had permanent blindness from wearing those things for too long. I was like, oh crap. About to join my friends, ask for all the blind advice. Let's get some orange flowers up here. Maybe some red flowers. Flowers are really easy to paint with gouache because it just sits on top of it. That's all that matters on a plane. Are you able to sleep on a plane? No, I wasn't. I slept for maybe an hour. I was up all night. Yeah, I was able to play games a little bit, but Shannon was playing the Steam Deck most of the time, and so... Ooh. Who's that? New follower, let's go. Thank you, Frost. yeah, Shannon played the Steam Deck most of the time, and so I played a game on the iPad. I downloaded. Turns out there's a Divinity Original Sin 2 iPad port. Like you can play it natively on the iPad. And so I downloaded that. Really enjoyed that for the like first like 2 hours of the flight, um, and then apparently it only downloaded the first like opening mission, like the prologue or whatever. And so when I got farther in the game, it was like, all right, now that you played the prologue, it's time for a 13 gigabyte patch. And I'm like, bruh, why couldn't you have told me that when I had all this Wi-Fi? Because now I'm on a plane and I don't have Wi-Fi. Or I had like a tiny bit of Wi-Fi, but it definitely wasn't enough to download 13 gigabytes of game. I was pretty bummed about that, because then I didn't have anything to play for the rest of the trip. So I mostly just watched a movie. What did I watch? I watched Mission Impossible. Watched the newest one, and then I watched the one from 2018 because I forgot like everything that had happened. So yeah, between watching Mission Impossible and that like hour or two that I was able to play of Divinity Original Sin 2, it was a decent flight. It wasn't the worst. This green splashed around up there. That looks pretty nice. What even works on a plane? Pretty much you can scroll through Facebook and it will load like a little bit. But beyond that, you can like send emails, you can read emails. Yeah, you can scroll through Facebook. Couldn't watch YouTube videos. It's pretty much just like sending and reading emails, and then like sending and reading messages. You can't really stream anything, so definitely couldn't download anything. It was very, very weak internet. You know, this is looking pretty good. This is starting to come together. I do not mind it. I'm trying to decide if I want to do anything with this tree up here. Could have tried Impressionism. Yeah. Did you try the Hobbiton beer? Yeah, I had the Hobbiton cider. It pretty much just tasted like the Angry Orchard stuff. I'm not a connoisseur. Connoisseur? Is that what it's called? I'm not a connoisseur enough to have like been able to tell if it was good or not. Like I'm the least pickiest person in the world, and so I'm just like, yes, that is cider. That sure is. They only gave you one drink voucher, and I wasn't about to spend money on it because it was already so expensive just to be there. But what do I normally drink? I don't really normally drink. If I have something, it's usually like just to try it. Like I had some friends invite me out for dinner after a convention a few weeks ago, and they were just being super nice, and they were like, hey, we're gonna buy you a drink. I was like, oh, okay, what do you recommend? And they're like, what do you like? And I'm like, I like anything. I just like to try new stuff. They're like, oh, you should try this smoked whiskey. Ooh, I really messed this one up. So yeah, my friend ordered one of the smoked whiskey things, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'll have one of those too. I tried it and I was like, yep, that was good. That was very smoky, and it was a cool presentation where they like blow torched on top of the drink and hand it to you, and you open it up and there's like smoke coming out of it. It was really good. Um, when I'm at the Kansas City Irish Fest, they give you drink vouchers to like redeem at any of the like breweries. 'Cause they have different breweries set up all over Irish Fest, and then they give you a drink voucher to like take to any of those. And so there I've gotten they had like Boulevard Wheat, like draft Boulevard Wheat, and that was pretty good. They had Guinness there, like the Irish beer, and then I also tried a Jameson Orange. That was pretty good. But yeah, beyond that, I just don't know much at all. Like I said, I'm like the least pickiest person ever, so least picky person ever. Yeah, pretty much if someone buys me something, I will drink it and probably enjoy it. Beautiful, thank you. Let's angle this down a little bit. There we go. Got drunk at an Irish con. Kicked out. No, I didn't get drunk. Got a little tipsy, but it just honestly being tipsy actually makes me a better salesman. Just because I'm like I get really goofy and everything is funny to me if I'm tipsy. So I just got like just made me really friendly, which in turn made me a better salesman. So I did great at Irish Fest this last time. It was like a $9,000 weekend for me. And everyone else said that they were down like 30 or 40% from the previous year. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely down too, but I about matched what I did the previous year. So I was like, hey, I'll take it. I'll pack you a flask for Emerald City. I don't actually like being drunk. It's not very fun for me. I usually just feel like garbage. I've only been drunk like once. It was very controlled and very like safe, where I knew I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't going to be driving anywhere at all. And so that was really the only time. I was just with close friends and family. I just like to be in control of all my faculties. I think we're getting close with this one. So anyway, yeah. No, I just don't like being like out of control of what I'm thinking or saying. I like to keep my filter on. Especially being on the internet, that's just kind of dangerous to not to not be careful. People get canceled all the time for saying crazy stuff, so I ain't about to do something that's gonna get me on anyone's radar. I don't think I have anything that would get me on anyone's radar, but I just like being in control. Having a filter. That's pretty good. It's not like the most amazing painting ever, but it's an on plein air sketch. There and back again, that's right. Oh, I need a doorknob. I always forget the doorknobs. Every time. Shannon does too. She painted a Hobbit house. I think it was her watercolor one. And she forgot to paint the doorknob, and everyone had to point it out. This one has a window. And a doorknob right there. That looks pretty good. Let's give some reflection in this window. And then at the bottom, see the painter's house, you can go inside. What was that like inside? Was there a Hobbit-sized toilet? We went inside, I don't know if it was like, I know it probably had a theme, but they didn't tell us the theme of the Hobbit house that you could go inside. There was like one main one. I think it might have been Samwise house, possibly. But yeah, the one that we went in, there was definitely a Hobbit-sized toilet. I thought it was pretty funny. But the painter's house, you could not go inside. You could just kind of stand on the outside and take a picture of like being on the outside of the Hobbit house. Yeah, this one's the baker's house. I just liked the design, that's why I sketched this one. Thought it was nice. Of this like kind of like bars that were kind of crossing. Like that. Let's see, what can I do? I need more white in there. Just need to make this window look a bit more. I think it's doing something here. Little mailbox reflection there. Did you hit your head inside? I did. I actually did. I kind of staged a little clip. I think I posted it on all my platforms probably. It was like right at the end of my Hobbiton video. Just like walking around Hobbiton. I think it's like right at the end of the painting one. I like staged a little video where Shannon like recorded me walking in the Hobbit house, and then I turned around just like Gandalf does and hit my head on the doorpost thing. It was pretty funny. My hand is so tremor-y right now. Don't know why. Frank is upset. I think I want to add some like bright white flowers as well. It's gonna look a little bit pink. I'm just gonna mix the white over the pink. Sprinkle some of these around. She had a good time. there were some parts that were kind of stressful for her, so we had a few moments where we needed to like just kind of slow down and take things one step at a time, because she was just kind of stressed about like the logistics of things. But once she was able to get past that, she had a good time. She had some really, really great moments. I think we were out there for just the right amount of time for her. I think any longer she would have started to get a little burnt out. There we go. Yeah, she's a little shorter than I am. Not by a whole lot though. I'm like 6'2" and she's like 5'8". There we go. Looks good. Not bright. My next trip is going to be 3 weeks. Yeah, was the month too long for you? Maybe I need a smaller brush. This one is just a bit too big. Let's try this round brush. Need like a dark bluish, blue, brown, white. Need this like mortar color for in between the bricks. Maybe thin it down just a little bit. I think 2 weeks will be too short and 4 too long for work. Yeah, that's where we were kind of landing. Was the 2 felt very short for me. I think it was just the right amount of time for her, but the 2 felt short for me. But I definitely was kind of antsy to get back home and get my orders sent out. I had some online orders that were kind of piling up and there for a long time, but I also didn't want to put my shop in vacation mode because I've heard horror stories of people putting their shops in vacation mode and then coming back and then the algorithms like completely locking them out of everything. So I didn't want to risk that. So I just kept it up. And so all these orders that I got, I had to get sent out like immediately as soon as I got home. And so that's what I did all day yesterday. Some nice little brick vibes. Looks pretty good. I like it. It's a happy little painting. Maybe let's thin this down a little bit. Join your Patreon. She loves your work. Huge Magic the Gathering nerd. Yeah, we had fun chatting about that. I'm so conflicted on like what I want to do, and is stretching myself this thin. Is it going to be worth the time and energy that I put into like pursuing these other things? Because like all of the big industry guys are quitting their industry stuff to do what I'm currently doing, and they're like taking their first steps into what I'm doing and having great success with it. And so it's going to get harder for me to get my booths and whatever in the convention space, but also like all these big guys that are now leaving the industry jobs. That's going to be my competition with conventions now, and that's already they still want their jobs with like Magic the Gathering. And so I'm like, oh, do I keep trying? Gotta evolve. I know. I just don't know what to evolve into. Like that's my big struggle right now, is I don't know what to evolve into. And I don't know what's next. I don't know what I should be prioritizing. And everything that I've ever like told anyone else, all the advice that I've ever given anyone else is always like, just do your thing and your audience will find you. Right? That's what I tell everyone. That's what I've always done. But my problem is me doing my thing and doing what I want to do is so random. It doesn't make any sense. I jump from one thing to the next so fast that I just have no idea what's even going on anymore. And my followers have no idea what's going on anymore. And I jump from one thing to the next. Just, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's too bright. Turn that down a little bit. Trying to make a dark brown. I'm going to start painting in these rafters. Got some big rafters up here. They go across. There was an interesting perspective here. What's up? He's hanging out. same. But I drew this one on plein air inside the hobbit hole, and now I'm painting it in. There's some really interesting like perspective trying to paint these. The ceiling is actually like angled really wacky. I'm gonna try and paint in all this brown generally where I saw it. Let's see, let's call that the front, and then this kind of went back like this. It was a bit darker. And then there was these big lines going down like this. Franklin just barks every time he goes outside now. Was there a real fire? There was. There was a real fire. That'll be fun to paint here, I think. Yeah, Franklin's been a little bit on one since we got back. He just kind of barks at everything as soon as he goes outside now. He's just got it in his little puppy brain that outside is the place to bark. And there was like just like basket down here, and there was all these firewoods kind of stacked up right here on the floor, and there's like a mirror thing right here, and there was a window thing here. This one's going to be very loose. Your internet died. No. Did my internet die? Did Shannon draw much on Holiday 2? She did a couple of paintings. Yeah, she painted like 2 or 3. She had kind of a hard time getting the on plein air techniques back because she hasn't done it in a while. But once she got into the groove of it and kind of remembered what she was doing, she had a lot of fun. First few were a bit of a struggle though. Okay, let's start to get some of these darker colors in here. Just trying to be real loose. No, my internet's good? Okay, good. I'm really hoping that my internet kind of starts working correctly again. I spent way too long with Google Fiber yesterday because I've just gotten sick of how the internet's been treating me lately. My perspective on this is a little wacky. Internet in New Zealand too? Yeah. I was using my phone's data and I was out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm not surprised that the New Zealand internet didn't work very well either. It was just wishful thinking that I would be able to get away with that. And we tried it. It didn't work. That's okay. Fill that in, fill this in. And start to kind of block in where the shadows are. There's some light going on there. And let's see. I need like a bright yellowish color. Maybe some of this yellow, and then the raw umber would make a nice color for that. Without making it look green. Maybe some orange in there. Just warm it up. Let's see what happens. Yeah, not bad. It's a nice happy warm. Something to work off of. I need to thin that down. It's already looking kind of warm and happy. I like that. And there was a carpet on the rugs. There's a rug on the floor as well. Who's that? New follower. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate you. Thank you. We are painting a happy little hobbit hole right now. And this is the reference that I'm using is actually a photo that I took, and I actually sketched the line work of this piece right there in the hobbit hole. It's on plein air sketching, which I think is pretty cool. There we go. Got a block in now. Yeah, very cozy. Very, very cozy. Trying to keep this as loose as possible, just very general brush strokes of what we're trying to get across here. Nice. Looks pretty good. Do you like using gouache? I'm enjoying it so far. It's a bit of a learning curve. I'm still getting used to it. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Acrylic underpainting with oils on top is still definitely, like, if I were to want to paint something and have it look really, really good, that's still the method that I would use. But this is just like, I'm just like trying to capture moments from my time in New Zealand. So this whole sketchbook is, that's the whole purpose of this sketchbook, is to just capture these moments. And so I've been trying to figure out a painting medium that I can use to just very quickly and abstractly just paint moments that I saw. Twitch died, but not Instagram. No. I guess completely turned off now. Okay, I'm losing all my paint here. Paint just dries so fast. I think my basement is very humid, or very dry, opposite of humid. My internet crapping out on me again. think my problem is I'm just not using enough paint. Seems like just Twitch went down. Ugh. I was just hoping that maybe my internet was fixed. Tired of paying $70 a month for something that doesn't work. If I knew it wasn't going to work, then I would just buy something cheaper. Purposely bought the best internet that I could so that I could stream. Fire's nice. Thanks. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I think this one's going to be a lot about layers. Just getting enough layers on until it starts looking like it needs to. Need to like darken areas up, lighten areas up. I think a lot of that's just going to be about getting the right layers in the right spots. Running out of paint again. No sure. Oh. Use some more yellow. Oop. Dropping my yellow. white. Excited for the Painted Dragon print club this month. Yeah, I need to order my Frost Dragon prints. That's coming up. I need to get those sent out before Emerald City. Or no, before StoryCon. So I need to order those prints this week. This is kind of looking like the inside of a Hobbit house. What do I need? Just straight yellow. Straight yellow and white. Let's do it again, huh? It's just awesome. It's the fire, kind of looks like fire now. I just got a Streamlabs report, so that means that one of my streams died and isn't coming back. So love that. Love that. The door makes a cool sound. I want to use it in a movie. What, the door that Shannon just walked in and out of? Trying to get the most abstract shapes that I can that still convey what I need to convey. Not just slight little brush strokes. Sucker for flame painting. Yeah, I think it looks really cool. I haven't done an interior scene in so long. Like, this might be my first one in like years. Trying to capture just an inside room like this. It's pretty cool. Need to make the floor darker. There's like bricks on here that I want to just imply. And there's a design up above the fireplace. I think I could just kind of sketch in. It's like the Baggins family tree is up here. I'm gonna ride you for a while. I'm gonna paint my first proper canvas for Mom's birthday this weekend. I'm gonna paint some grandparents. That's awesome. I hope you have fun with that. Painting is great. It can be frustrating at times, but it's also great. You make something that you're really proud of, and you're like, I did that. Little branches all over this. This is not completely lore accurate. I just want to imply that there is a tree up here. And there's these little like plaques on it. Pause. Here, here, here. There's these like little portraits up here. I'm not going to paint the portraits because that sounds awful, but I'm going to imply where they are. There we go. Alright, it's starting to come together. Starting to actually look like something. This one is definitely challenging me. No doubt about it. There's all this stuff up on the mantle up here. Yeah, please share it. Whatever platform are you streaming on? I'm usually streaming on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and then TikTok, but TikTok usually doesn't get very many people in. Twitch and YouTube are the safest right now in terms of like staying up. Everything else wants to ban me nowadays. Where's your next holiday? I don't know. I do not know. Hey, thank you for the follow, Dr. Bubbles. Appreciate ya. I know my next convention is going to be in Salt Lake City. There's my next one. Let me try and get this light kind of... There's these like lamps up above this. I want to try to imply that. Very cozy light going on up here. Looks pretty good. Are the portraits of a recognizable hobbit? I don't think so. I don't think they were recognizable. Unless you were like able to really study and see what was going on. I did not look that close. There was so much to look at. I really capture this light here.